Random update to start the vlog. This is the first clip. I kept meaning to have something to say or something to do or be like, hey, reading update, which, like, I guess I could, like, reading update, I'm still reading this, I'm getting near to the end. The two main characters who I thought this was about their relationship still have not met, so that's interesting. I don't hate it, though. I actually kind of like it. But the main reason I had to update this, I won a Goodreads giveaway for Devil Darling Spy by Matt Colleen, and I am so excited. That was probably one, or maybe, I was gonna say one of, it might be the only 2020 release I care about, besides Long Bright River, which I already bought. So, like, so far, all the 2020 releases that I care about, I have physically acquired, which is kind of awesome. Or, well, I don't have Devil Darling Spy yet, but I will very soon, and I'm very, very excited. Like, I only enter Goodreads giveaways anymore when I've been notified about them, like, hey, this book is on your want to read list, or want to read shelf, whatever the terminology is. Enter a giveaway, and I'll be like, sure. So, I'm happy. I'm very excited. I had that book on hold at the library, but I think I'm gonna cancel my hold and just wait to read it, because it was released today. Today's the 21st. It was released today. My library doesn't have it in yet, which is not surprising because they tend to be a little bit late for, like, new releases unless they're super big books, like the Testaments, but I wasn't expecting them to have it yet. They'll probably have it in like a week or two, hopefully. Sometimes they're slower than that even, and they don't get it for a few weeks, but it should ship to me within like 4 to 6 weeks, which is like a month and a half, I think. So I should have it by like March. So I'm kind of thinking that I'd rather just wait for my own copy and get to read my own copy instead of reading a library copy and then getting my copy, because that's less exciting. So I'm very excited. I'll definitely show you guys when I get the book because I'm very, very excited. But I don't know. It's just dope that, like, the book I got, the one time I win a Goodreads, or I've won Goodreads giveaways before, but, like, not in the last, like, year and a half. So the only one I've won in the last year and a half is probably the only real new release that I'm excited about for 2020 that I didn't buy myself. So that's awesome. And today was a very, very good day. Reading update. Did I tell you that I finished Heft? I finished Heft. Heft was good. I feel weird talking about it just because, like, it's hard for me to think of, like, positive things to say about it, or, like, things that I specifically enjoyed about it. But I liked it. Like, I give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was just, like, weird. Definitely not as good as The Unseen World, because that's still, like, one of my favorite books ever. But I liked it a weird amount. I did also start Heroine last night. I finished Heft yesterday. I started Heroine last night by Mindy McGinnis, YA contemporary about drugs. I'm like, not quite halfway, but getting close to halfway through. It's a very fast read, very easy to get through. It feels like an after school special, and it's like, I don't particularly like it because of that. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm reading a book about a character. It feels like I'm reading a book with a message to not do drugs. And it's like, okay, that's a fine message. I'm probably more drug positive than most people. Not that I do drugs, but just that, like, I'm more drug positive than most people. But it's just like, it doesn't feel like a character making decisions because of her personality. She feels like an after school special character in that she exists to do drugs and go down a bad path to help people learn a lesson about drugs. And it's just like, I don't really like that. It feels like Go Ask Alice. Like, if you've ever read Go Ask Alice and you're like, that book was kind of preachy, it's pretty much the same feeling I have about this one. And it's not even that I hate it. I don't love Mindy McGinnis's writing style, but it's probably going to be 3 stars for me, just like, whatever. Like, it was fine. I like Go Ask Alice okay as well. Like, that's also probably a 3-star read for me. Liked it a lot in high school, but as I grew up, it definitely felt way more preachy. But I don't know, it has the same vibe as me, as Go Ask Alice. This is just like, 30 years later or 40 years later. I don't remember when Go Ask Alice was set. It was set in like the 70s or 80s or something. But yeah, same vibe. It's very strange. Not super fun, but like, I should finish it honestly tomorrow probably, because I'll just read tonight and then read tomorrow and like finish the book and it'll be whatever and fine. And like, I like YA contemporaries. This is not a great one for me, but like, it's not bad either. I just think I don't particularly like Mindy McGinnis, so I probably won't read any more of her books, even if they sound like my kind of thing, just because it seems like she is not my kind of thing. So, whatever. But I'll be done with this one soon. Yesterday, I said I was going to finish Heroine today. My last update was yesterday. But I actually wound up reading it last night just because I really didn't feel like doing anything. I was tired. So I finished Heroine. I gave it 3 stars. That wasn't a surprise for me after like the beginning. It was just very like after school special drug PSA. Like, don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad. And it was, I don't know. And then I had some other issues with like the story and whatever. And I didn't love it, basically. And then Then I started reading Meddling Kids, because I ran a Twitter poll the other day, because I was like, I don't know what to read. Decide for me. And people voted for Heroine. Mediocre. Now I'm reading Meddling Kids. And this is weird. Let's see how to say this. I don't know that it being weird is bad. It's like a B horror movie. Like, it's a really, really cheesy, bad horror movie, but intentionally done so to be humorous. I like that in horror movies, to a degree sometimes. Some of them are done well, some of them aren't. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I don't know. It's weird reading it in book form, but I don't hate it. I don't think this is going to get a very high rating from me, but I also don't think it's going to get a very low rating. I think this might be 3 stars, but one of those 3 stars that's like still very worthwhile, still very interesting. I still liked it. I'm only a little bit in. Like, I literally just read the first section, so like, I don't know at this point. It might wind up being terrible, like everyone says. But I don't hate it. I think I went in with good expectations because I heard a lot of people talking about it. But I'm kind of just, like, down. I'm down for him to screw up Scooby-Doo and, like, all the Scooby-Doo people and, like, be like, yeah, like, this one's dead and this one's, like, crazy and this one's, like, in hella therapy and this other one is, I don't know, a vigilante now. And they're all, like, 25-ish. And it's just, I like it. I like it quite a bit. I mean, I like the concept quite a bit. The book I'm still not sure about, but I am quite excited to read more. I don't think it's bad so far. I don't think I'm going to love it, though. Like, I do think with the writing style being weird, I'm not going to love it, but I'm going to think it was interesting and worth reading, and I don't know. I like it so far, though. So, I'll stop talking about that since I've literally only read, like, 10 pages, and then actually go back to reading it so that I can tell you what I really do think. My original plan was to go to the library tonight, after work, because I didn't want to go before work, because that's just a lot, and I had to go to the store anyway, which is right beside the library, and I can't do that until after work, but one of my books is due today, and I'm nervous about the fine, so I decided to stop by anyway. So I am returning 2 books, and hopefully not getting anything, because I'm just trying to get through all the books that I have out from the library right now, but I'm returning Eiger Dreams, which I kept thinking about reviewing, but I'm not going to review this one. Just, I don't have enough to say to, like, warrant a full review. Everything I had to say, I said in the wrap-up, and, like, I'm going to do a full video on all of John Krakauer's books anyway, so I'm just not going to review it. And then the one that's due today, well, that was due today as well, but the one that's, like, seriously due today is Heft by Liz Moore, which I finished the other day. I will be reviewing this one, I just won't have the book with me when I review it, so yeah, I just wanted to return both of these because I don't like fines and I don't like when people return books late, so I try to return them as best I can, and I'm still reading Meddling Kids. I've gotten a little bit further in, so now I'm not 10 pages, I'm like 34 pages. One of them is in an asylum, and the one who's dead is apparently still a part of this book, so that's interesting. This might be fantasy, or like, you know, supernatural fantasy, but it all falls under like the fantasy heading, and it's an adult book, so this might actually count towards my read 5 adult fantasy novels this year. I already read 1 in the Star of the Sea, so if this is a second, then dope. But yeah, hopefully I don't check out any books because I really can't afford to anymore. So it is library day, my day off. I am at the city library right now, planning to return Day by Elie Wiesel. I was holding on to this because I was planning to review it, and I was just like, I kept planning to review it just because I review everything, pretty much. And then I was thinking, I was like, I really don't want to review it. Like, not in like an active, like, I really don't want to review this book, but just like, I'm like kind of just below neutral, or maybe at neutral, I don't know, but I don't particularly want to review it. And if I don't want to, then why would I? So I think this year I'm going to work on not reviewing every single book I read. Like, most of them for sure, I still want to, like, do a lot of reviews and be, like, a very review-heavy channel, because I enjoy that. But, like, for books like this, where I don't have too much to say, or, like, I could have, like, a 10-minute review on this book and have a discussion and, like, have it be worthwhile to some degree. But do I really care to, is the question. And I don't think I do. Like, I just don't feel like doing a review on it, so I'm not going to. And I think I'm going to try to implement that more, and just, like, not review everything just for the sake of reviewing everything, but actually try to just, like, review the things I want to review, and, like, not force myself to review things that I don't have a whole lot of interest in, which is still going to be, like, mostly reviews. Like, of the 5 books I've read so far in 2020, I want to review 4 of them, and there's only one that I don't think I'm going to review, so it's still going to be a lot of reviews, don't worry about that. And the other thing that I'm returning, not to this library, but to the county library, which I'm going to as well, because they had 3 books that I wanted to buy in, like, their library book sale thing that's constantly going on. They have, like, a couple of carts over there. They're just like, buy these books, they're cheap. And there were 3 that I really wanted to buy when I stopped by yesterday, but they only take cash or check, and, like, I'm 26, I don't carry a checkbook on me, and I didn't happen to have any cash, and I was going to work, so I couldn't get any cash quick, so I have cash now. So I'm going over there, and I want to see if they still have those books, because if they do, I'm going to buy them, because I have no self-control. But I'm returning Pieces of Her. I gave it 3 stars. I liked it okay. It was not great. It was probably my least favorite Karen Slaughter so far, but it wasn't terrible. It was still, like, whatever. I'm glad I read it. So this is also one I'm not going to be reviewing. I was holding on to it because I was like, I'm going to review this because I review everything. And I was like, I don't really want to. I don't really remember a whole lot from this book. It was like a mediocre thriller, and I read it and it was fine while reading it, and, like, now it's over and I'll have enough to say for, like, my wrap up, and, like, I totally could review this book. It's just, do I want to? And I'm going to ask myself that for every book. Like, do I want to review this book? And there are some 3-star books that I do. I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. I haven't reviewed that yet, but I really do want to. Like, I actively want to review that book. I have things I want to discuss in it. You know, even though it was 3 stars and it was like, whatever. Like, I want to review it, and there are plenty of books like that, regardless of how much I like them or dislike them or whatever. Like, Middlesex. I really enjoy Middlesex. I gave it 4 stars, but I just don't feel like reviewing it. So I'm not going to. And I'm going to, like, start implementing that more and just trying to be, like, not obligated to review every single book. So hopefully that works out well, and I can get into, like, a good habit of still reviewing a lot, still doing a lot of reviews, but not, like, literally everything like I was, because that was kind of a lot, and I like doing that, but it's not really feasible when I'm reading, like, 100+ books a year. Like, if I was reading 40 books a year, for sure I'd want to review everything, but when it's, like, last year I read 139 books, and even if you, like, down that, because I don't review audiobooks for the most part, and I don't review series, I sometimes review, like, as one whole piece instead of each individual book. And there's some books that I just skip because I really don't want to, because I never, like, forced myself to review a book that I didn't want to review. It was just, like, there was always that obligation of, I'm just going to review this, unless there's, like, a good reason not to. And now I'm just being like, if I don't want to review it, I don't have to review it. So I'm gonna try to work on that, but my channel will still be, like, half reviews. So I don't think anything's really gonna change, just I'll have fewer backlog videos. Hopefully. Or probably just have the same because I'm lazy and never edit anything. So, the library didn't have any of the books that I wanted yesterday. I guess they must have sold them yesterday because I came in, like, 10 minutes after open and they were not there, which was very, very sad. They had 2 volumes of Sherlock Holmes, like the complete Sherlock Holmes, like volume 1, volume 2, in, like, these really pretty hardbacks, and they had On the Come Up, and I 100% would have bought them yesterday. I just didn't have cash on me, and they only take cash or check, so I'm a little bit heartbroken over that, because I really wanted both of those, or I guess all 3 of them, but, like, the Sherlock Holmes kind of counts as one. I was really hoping one of them was still gonna be there, but neither of them were, so I'm just gonna go home and cry now. To drown myself in my sorrows, I did check out a book. I know I'm not supposed to, but, like, I would have been so depressed to leave there empty-handed. So I got Into the Drowning Deep by Mary Grant because I have heard good things about this. I've heard bad things as well, but I know Macy from The Bright Side Girl really liked this, so hopefully I like it. It's an adult thriller / potentially mermaidy thing. I'm not really entirely sure. Macy liked it, so I'm gonna read it. I wanted something, and I was looking, and they didn't have any continuations of the series I'm working on. Like, they didn't have the next in the Expanse series. They didn't have the 4th book in the Three Dark Crowns series. And they had Mistborn, and I almost checked out Mistborn, and I was like, realistically, I'm not gonna read Mistborn until I finish the Expanse and the Three Dark Crowns series. So it would have just been like months sitting there, and I didn't really want to deal with that. So I got this. It's a standalone. Maybe I'll like it. It does sound interesting. It sounds all dark and suspenseful, and like, worst case scenario, I don't like it, so whatever. But it does sound very interesting, and it's one that I've heard about, and I've always kind of been like, sounds good. But hopefully I like it, and I'm just gonna go home and eat and be sad that all my pretty books that were so pretty and in such good condition and were only $2 are gone. And I didn't have time yesterday because I had to be at work like 20 minutes, and I just was like stopping by the library to drop off a book and was like, let's look at the book sale, which is not a smart idea when you don't have the method of payment required. Now I'm very, very sad, but I'll live. I'll find another copy of the Sherlock Holmes books, because like I've been like kind of looking for one, but not like hardcore looking, just because I have some of the Sherlock Holmes books, but not all of them, and it'd be nice to have like a full collection because I do want to read them all eventually. So I've been vaguely looking, and it would have been nice to get those. And on the come up, I do want to read. I'm not heartbroken not to own it, but like it would have been really nice since I don't own The Hate U Give either, and I really did like The Hate U Give. So I don't know. I'm gonna go home and just like wallow in my sadness for a little bit and eat food and maybe watch some booktube, or maybe just be sad. It is the 27th. I just got off work. It's like 9:45. Just drove home and got off work. We did a lot of lifting today, so that was fun. Very, very tired. Tomorrow I have off though, so I'm very excited for that. I've had a few days off recently, but I don't know. I had days off on the weekend, and I spent the whole weekend with my boyfriend, which was lovely. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was great fun to just, like, do nothing but spend whole days with him. But it's also, like, as an introvert, I do find that still kind of exhausting. So it's nice that tomorrow's Tuesday, I think. I have Tuesday off, like, by myself to just, like, hang out and chill and replenish my energy sources. I am still working on Meddling Kids. It's been taking me a minute to read because I do like it, but I don't love it. It's definitely a 3-star read, but I am approaching the end. I just wanted to finish this before I started my reread for the rereadathon. I just didn't expect it to take me so long, so hopefully I'll finish this tonight or tomorrow morning and start my reread tomorrow, because I want to reread the Tamara Pierce Circle of Magic series. That's my goal. There are 4 in that quartet, so, like, that's a lot, considering I only have a couple of days, but they're also, like, really short, quick middle grade books, so I don't expect they'll take me much time at all to read. The other thing I wanted to talk about is my audiobook. I finished Terrier by Tamara Pierce, which was my audiobook that I'd been listening to for, like, a few weeks, and I meant to go on to Bloodhound, but someone checked out Bloodhound, which was unfortunate and made me sad. They checked it out, like, 2 days before mine was due, which was so frustrating, because I literally checked and then it was gone. But I checked out A Long Way Home by Saroo Brierly, which is the book that the movie Lion was based off of, about the Indian boy who got lost and separated from his family and then adopted by an Australian family, and it's like his journey to find them. And I love the narrator's voice. Like, it's so pleasant to listen to, and I just really, really enjoy it. The book itself, I don't know. It's hard to judge it. Like, this is one of my issues that I have with audiobooks, is that when I'm enjoying it so much, and so much of that is just based off the narrator's voice and his delivery, and it's just, like, really pleasant to listen to. So it's hard for me to judge the actual book, the actual writing style, because it's just like, I like the narrator's voice, and that influences me more than it should. But I do enjoy it. It's a lot more about his childhood than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be more about, like, him living in Australia and his actual search to find them. But so far, I'm like an hour and a half into what? Like, it's like 8 hours or something. I'm an hour and a half in, and he's only talked about his childhood, and, like, he's only just gotten lost, and there's just, like, a lot about that, and I was kind of in it for the search more than I was, like, him being lost, but it's still interesting. It's still good. I like it. I've definitely been thoroughly enjoying that one. Just, the narrator has a lovely voice, and, like, very slow delivery, but I quite enjoy it. So, fun thing that I discovered yesterday, I was shelving in the romance section, just, like, cleaning it up, doing whatever, and I saw an author that I recognized, and that I own, and I was like, oh, apparently Lisa Jackson is a romance author. I thought she was a thriller author. I've been collecting some of her books, like, not going out of my way. I think I got a few of them for free, and a few of them from, like, Diversity Thrift when I was getting, like, a $5 box of books. So it's not like I was going out of my way to get her books. I was just like, oh, she's a thriller author, I'll get her books. And apparently she's a romance author. So I have 4 of her books. I mean, they're titled things like Final Scream and Shiver, so you can understand why I assume they were thrillers. But honestly, I'm kind of pleased with this discovery because, well, I've never read romantic suspense, so that'll be an experience. Because they are thrillery, but they're romantic suspense novels, and I think some straight romance. I'm not entirely sure, but romantic suspense. I was kind of thinking recently that I wanted to read some more romance. Like, not a lot of romance. I'm not a huge romance reader, but I do really enjoy romance as a subplot, and I always did, like, occasionally pick up a romance novel, like a straight romance novel. So I don't know, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like, it's fun that I now apparently own a few romance novels, so I really am, like, kind of pleased about that. Like, it's an odd thing. I would pick one up to show you, but they're all at my parents' house. I don't have any here with me, so that'll definitely be a project this year, and hopefully I like her, because I'm not sure I'm down to read 4 romance novels by an author if I don't enjoy her. Whereas, like, for thrillers, I would totally read all 4, even if I didn't like her. So, I don't know. That was kind of a fun discovery, and I'm kind of happy about that. But, yay, now apparently I have romance novels, or I've had romance novels for quite a while, because these are at least, they've been on my shelf for over a year. So, fun times. It is Tuesday the 28th. I don't know what day it is. I do know it's the 28th because on the 28th, Lisa Gardner's new book was released. And look what I have. I just went to the library today. I had it on hold, but for bestsellers, they only allow a few of them to, like, be for holds. So even if you're up on the holds list, it still takes a minute to get to you. And I was, like, 13th on the holds list. So I wasn't going to get it for a minute. But I got it today because there are some that you can just go in and grab from the shelf that can't be put on hold, that, like, you can't renew, you can't have it more than 2 weeks. So I have this for 2 weeks, which means I need to read it very quickly. I'd like to read it in January, but also I need to get through my reread for January, so I don't know how that's gonna work, because that's like 5 books and it's already the 28th, but I'm so excited for this. I like Lisa Gardner. I've been reading her new releases every year for the past couple years. A few years ago, I discovered her, read a bunch of her books, really liked her, and ever since then, I'm just like, every year she comes out with a new book, and every year I read it, and it's always fine. I don't know why I love her so much, because I usually rate her books 3 stars. It's not like it's like, wow, these are all 5 stars, or even like 4 stars, great books. It's like, they're usually fine. So I wound up staying up like all night the other night to read When You See Me, the Lisa Gardner book, and I finished it the 28th. Today's the 30th. I just filmed it, I just edited it. It's going up in a few minutes as soon as it finishes doing all the uploading, whatever, that takes like 5 hours. It doesn't, but it feels like it. So doing that. I've been listening to A Long Way Home, which I don't normally do. Like, I've just been like, as I do things, I'm making soup over there, so I was like cutting things and whatever. And I was listening to A Long Way Home, and I don't normally do that with my audiobooks. Like, when I only usually listen to them in the car, but like, I really like this one. It's like lovely to listen to. I love the dude's voice, so like, it's such a good voice. But because I did finish doing the soup now just has to like simmer away for, you know, however many hours. And my video is done, so now I am watching BookTube. Actually, I'm watching Jenna and Julian, but then I'll watch BookTube, and I'm snacking on corn dogs because I am a child and I like corn dogs. It's hot. It's good though. They're veggie corn dogs, of course, but they're super tasty. I toasted them this time, or I baked them, and normally I microwave them when we get them. I say normally, like we've gotten them more than 3 times. But we microwave them because we're lazy, and like I feel like they're better microwaved, which is weird, but they're still very tasty, and I love corn dogs. So this will probably be it for the vlog. It's the 30th of January. Still not done with my reread for the rereadathon, but okay. And then I don't know. This might be it for the vlog, or it might not. It depends on when I decide to post this, because who even knows.